Here we go then. I'm going to spoke up these two brand new rims I've just bought. Brand new rims, brand new red nipples, some brand new spokes. These are 264mm, 197mm rear hub, and a 150 front hub. And the only tool I need is that. I do them all by hand. Those I've done. But yeah, pretty straightforward job. These are from Taiwan, but obviously, well, they're constructed in Taiwan, but sold through China. But one thing to make sure when you buy these is this nut is like you could loose. If you can see that, I can spin it in my hand. Right, now the last one I had from them was exactly the same, and if you listen, you imagine that on the bike, that is really loud. It's because they put no grease in this part. So I'll pop that off when I've got it in the wheel, because it's just easier done when it's in the wheel. And I'll re-grease it and I'll do it up to the proper torque measurement. But it's a simple enough job. Just remember that if you buy any. But yeah. Anyway, let's see how we get on. Okay, I always start off inside, out. Then when you go round, you miss every other hole on the rim and every other hole on the hub. And then always start at 15% on the hub, because when you turn it, your straight edge or your top of your hub will be in line with your valve. I mean, these come without a top hole or whatever, so, or a mark. So basically I use my own stickers and I go by the fat bike, and then it's generally pretty much bang on. Sometimes I might lie a little bit, but not much. But yeah, so here we go. Spoken a wheel ain't as hard as what you think it is. It's only as hard as you want to make it. And only that, putting spokes in is the easy bit really. The time is true in the wheel. So there you go. There's the first 8. Now if I turn, you'll sort of get the idea of how the fat bike part now, as you can see where it says fat bike, it's actually in line with that. And now the next bit is go in from outside in, and it's under 2 over 1, and then do that all the way round, and you can't go wrong. It is so simple to do. It don't matter where you start on this side. So it's under 2, like I said, and over 1. These wheels are 32 spoke rims. 32 holes. And the only place I could get these rims is from Germany. Just purely because no one in the UK has got anything decent for sale, unless you want to buy either made up ones or just boring black ones. If you want some colour and add a bit of variety to your bike, and I'm afraid you've got to look at other countries, which is sad really. But hopefully with Brexit, perhaps someone who's got the expertise or know-how could start selling them in the UK and save us a lot of hassle. But as you can see, I'm whipping on with it now. It don't take long. It's like I said all the time, is in truing really. This is the easy bit. I haven't got a clue how much it would cost for to get this job done in the UK. I've never asked. I was just in my shed one day messing about, and I just decided to take a wheel apart and put it back together just to see if I could do it. Admittedly, first time I did it, took me a while, but I did it, and I think that's what you got to do really with this sort of stuff. Just crack on. I'll probably fire a bit of time lapse over this video because it'd be boring just to listen to me harking on. The one thing I should have done is on the ends of these spokes, I should have put just a tiny little bit of grease and rubbed it in and then wiped it off. It would have made them do up a lot easier than how they are for me at the moment. But I forgot to do it, so I'm just going on without it. Don't have to do it, it just makes it a little bit easier to do them up a bit, that's all. But yeah, putting this glove on just protects the skin on my fingers really, because it's messing with small stuff and tends to wear the top of your finger out a bit and takes a couple of days to come back. So putting a glove on, I don't have the problem. And it's only a latex rubber glove, nothing special. So there you go. That's one side completely spoked. And then it's on to the other. So all these bits will push up later on. But I always like to leave them all loose. And then I'll go around and I'll do everything properly later. See? But yeah. But that's basically how it works. So it all should be good. Because when I put the others in, they'll push that way. And these ones will push that way. And then all the spokes will start coming out. But yeah, so you get the gist of that. Now, the next bit is one of the harder bits because you've got to know where to go with your next spoke. Now, how I do it is give it a push out like that. So you're pushing it out. How it will end up, so it will end up sticking out a bit like that. Well, it won't be that much, but when I do them out, that'll all come in. But basically, it's to get an eye in, right? Now it's easier to say you want to start, say there, same place as you started on the other side, but obviously on the opposite side of the wheel, if you see what I mean. But basically, just put it in by eye, get it as best you can. When you get halfway around, if you've got that one wrong, you'll know. And all you've got to do is shift them all forward or all back one hole. So it's, you know, it's not that hard. It really isn't. And I always start off same way. So this time I'm coming the exact same way. And what I'm doing is I'm looking down through one of these holes for that spoke there. And I can only be one or two out every time. So I'm going to go for, I reckon, this one here. I'm going to try that one there, and you'll sort of know because it'll line up, and you should be able to get a nipple on there. And if you get so far round and you can't get the nipple on, that's when you know that you've got the wrong hole. Just go backtrack your stuff and go and get the other hole. It's as simple as that. And you're basically doing exactly what you just did. So I don't know if you can see that very well in the picture, but it's quite in line. But it's not in line, if you know what I mean. Like when it all goes in, when all this wheel goes in proper, it'll all be right. See it moving? It'll all move even more than that once you get it all lined up. And that's the whole point of giving everything a wriggle as you go, and it'll all go nice and easy for you. Now you can, I don't know whether you can see actually in that video, but basically it's just one out. It's like just slightly off compared to that one. But you do exactly the same as what you just did to the front one. Miss one, get one. Miss one, get one. So that one will go there, look. Okay, simple enough, isn't it? So there you go. There's those in. Now you can see that it's all like looking down from that angle. Don't know if you can see, but it looks pretty much right now. As you can see, all the spokes are loose, and as you go round, it's really simple to tighten them up. Like when I first made my first wheel, I did use a few I forgot what you call them, but some special tools to make sure these were the right tightness and that. But I've done so many now, my hand knows. My hand has turned into the tool, which makes it a lot quicker. And every time I've done them, I can quickly put a tool on to check them, and they are absolutely bang on. So I don't need the tool anymore. But it's really simple. Like you just do it until there's no looseness about them, really, and you've got it right, you know. And like a lot of people got the special tools and kit to actually put a wheel in a piece of kit to true it. Well, I haven't got that piece of kit, so for front wheels I got a couple of different sets of forks that I put in my vise, and I usually set them up in the vise because it's just easier than doing it in the bike. But I've got nothing to true a back wheel bar the bike, so I basically put it in the bike and I true the wheel there, and yeah, with great success. And truing the wheel is dead simple. So yeah, right, let's get these last few spokes in this side. Again, it doesn't matter where you start here now. I've got to go 2 under, 1 over, just like I did the other side. It's a bit more fiddlier this side because of getting it in here, and now I'm having to move in amongst spokes, whereas I didn't have to do that the first time round. But once you get a gist of what you're doing, it is really simple. And when I first did a wheel, like I said, I just was in my shed and decided to just go for it and see if I could do it. And it must have been a few months later when I decided to do one proper. I thought, oh, I better check a guide out. And I found this one guy who's done a guide that I understood. All the others, I just found it really awkward. So yeah, as you can see, look, this one here, it's gone in there. So it's gone under that one, and over this one. And that's your 2 under, 1 over. And as you can see, it's starting to look like a real wheel now. And it don't take a lot of time. Like I said, all the time is spent actually truing for me, not putting them together. I can knock them together in a couple of wheels, couple of hours sort of thing. Usually a cup of tea in between, bit of vaping. That one's a bit harder. It's because of the shape of the wheels going out. Here, come back. Just move on. So there you go. That's it. Don't worry about bending spokes or anything like that, because when you tighten everything up, it's all going to come really good. But that is basically it. And as you can see, the fat bike part sits directly in line with that. So you know you're always straight, and when the wheel's on, that's the way it'll be. So because I've done it that way, I basically, when I come to do this rim, so it looks right on the bike, I've got to make sure, because I've got the Fox writing going that way, so I've got to make sure this goes in that way. So this is the side I will start on, because that way I know I've got it all as straight as that one. So when they're actually on the bike, they'll all be facing the same way, so it won't look a bit odd. But yeah. For the back wheel, I do exactly the same. Inside out, about quarter past, does the trick. So when it goes up, when it actually pulls up to the angle, it'll be straight, just like the other one, like that. And that will be spot on. Just double checking before I put my next one in that I've got everything the right way round. And everything's good. There you go. Every now and then just give it a little check, and yeah, that's bang on in line. There you go, that's them. All done. Now it's give it a turn. Like so. It's not quite enough yet, as I can see. So you just got to get your spokes out. There you go. No, they're right. That'll allow me to go same procedure, under 2 and over 1. Starting off like this, I suppose it is quite awkward if you can't get the spoke to come up to where you want it, because they're all a bit catchy when you start off, where they're all sticking in like this, and it makes it a bit awkward to get the first one on. But as you get going, it just gets better. There you go, I've got him. He's not enough really, I haven't done him up enough, but it's enough for me to carry on. And as I go through, these will all pop up out the way, and then I can get on him better. There you go. But yeah, same procedure, under 2, over 1. As long as you remember that every time, you can't go wrong. Honest, when you first put in do your first wheel, you'll be a bit like I was, I suppose. Am I doing this right or am I doing it wrong? But after a bit, you'll get it and it just comes then. So it's all good. Crank him up a little bit just so I can get the screw on. There you go. Usually when you're building a wheel, if something's not right, you'll actually know as you're building it, because you won't be able to get one of the nipples on or it doesn't look right. I've done it before, because usually when I'm doing this, I usually watch telly. I'm not watching what I'm doing. And then I come a cropper thinking, what the hell? This is going wrong. What I always do is I put the top of my finger on the top of the spoke as I bring it through. So it's my finger that rubs the wheel and not the end of the spoke. Otherwise the end of the spoke is just going to rip your paint off, or anodizing. So there you go, there's that side done. And as you can see, my fat bike lettering is in line again, which is good. But yeah, all the spokes, like I said, don't worry about them. All you need to do is just get your screws on for now. That's all you've got to worry about. Everything else can be done afterwards. Doing them up. Because you get them in and then you'll go round and sort the wheel out afterwards. But yeah, so again, it's getting this one again in line with that one. So to pick a good place to get that line. So again, you're coming from the outside in. I'm not sure if I got the right one there. That might be the one for here. But this is the main thing, getting this one. Get this spoke right and you're away. Now that looks better. But the only, like I say, you know, someone else might have done a review on this, which is a lot better to understand than mine. So if he's not right, you'll know, because it'll pull the wheel at a real horrible angle. I think I've got him. Once it all does up tight. looks good. All feels nice. Just nudging your spokes around that you've already put in just makes it easier for you to get the last few screwed up in. That's just what I was doing then. This one's a bit awkward because of the angle I went at then. I went too far over. But like I said, don't worry about bending the spokes. So as you tighten them up, it'll all come right. What I tend to do as well, when I'm screwing them down by hand, I don't know if you can see, but I do them to half of the thread. Just to half of the thread on there, because then you can whip round and do them down to the end, and that then give the wheel a good mess about, like grab all the spokes, take all the torque out a bit, then you know it's all gone in even. It'll never be perfect until you're finished. Okay, I've had a bit of a vape and a cup of tea, and both wheels are now basically together. So everybody's got their own tools they like. I like this, and I just whip around and do them down to the second mark, like, if you know what I mean, like down to the end of the thread, go all the way round, and if it feels tight enough as is, I'll leave it until I actually come to true it then. And truing's quite simple. If it needs to come this way, you do up that side. If it needs to go that way, you do up the opposite side to which way it wants to go up. And it's the same for the centre of the wheel. If this rim is too low, like warping out down the bottom, then you undo, say, 6 here or 8, and do up 6 or 8 that way, and opposite to wherever it's out of shape. Basically, it's really simple, but it's time consuming. But yeah, so let's go on and do some of these up. They're simple enough. Some you can do by hand, and some, because of the shape of the wheel, like, you know, where the spokes are a bit tight and stuff. So basically I'll go round and I'll do them all down till I'm off to the thread, and then I'll go from there. Then I'll see what needs doing after that. All you do, as you're going around the wheel, tightening them, just every now and then, just give them a little squeeze, the spokes. It just takes any bit out, flick it over, do the same again. Just keep doing that as you do a few up. Just keep doing it until you've done them all up. It just makes it a little bit easier. And also, you can put the wheel into your chest and hands over there and just give it a pull as you're tightening it all up. You occasionally hear a little crack, but I prefer to do the last part in the bike because I can spin the wheel and do that with my hand, and it does the same thing as torquing the wheel. But yeah, quite straightforward enough. Right, I'm not going to finish that bit now, so I'm going to finish that bit off camera, and I'll get back to you. So there you go. I've torqued them all down now, all the way round. I've got a few more to do because I've reached some of them on the back of the metal stud. So I need the other tool, which is down in my shed, to do them up from there. But that don't matter because I'll do all that now in the truing, when I true them up.
New email message.
This one here.
Please check your inbox.
And that's how they should be. Just like that. So they've got a little bit of movement, but not massive loads of it. And it's nice and tight. So this wheel is pretty much done as is. He's reached his metal ends on a couple of places, but he's tight. So I could probably get away with that. When I ordered the spokes, I ordered them a couple mil too long because I wasn't sure about the wheel. So, because usually I use two 260s or 259s, but last time I did it on a 4-inch rim, it didn't work so well, and I had to use some old black ones that I had, which were about 62, 63. So really I should have bought 62, I guess, and I wouldn't have that problem, but it's not a problem really. These look quite nice. They're going to look absolutely beautiful in the sun. But yeah, so very happy with that. So my first job is, when I go down the shed now, is to sort this hub out, get that greased up, and it'll be a lot quieter than that rattly noise it's got there. As you can see, that noise has got louder now. Now it's in the rim. So it's going to sound horrible when you're freewheeling. But I'll undo all this and I'll grease all that up, and that'll make it nice and quiet. And then I'll torque the bolt on, which is what they should have done first. But yeah, so quite happy with that. So here you go. The only tools I use for truing is a metal tape, which I've gone from there and from the other side. Stick to one place if you can, obviously this bike's got that weird shaped type frame where the disc brakes on the inside, not the outside like most, so it's a bit more difficult to true up, like find a nice place. But yeah, so I use that and trusty heavy duty screwdriver, ratchet screwdriver, just to save time. And I've just done this. Basically, if you want the wheel to go that way, you do these up and undo them. I do it by one turn until everything's nice and tight and it's all as straight as I can get it. As you can see, I use this cable tie here just to make sure I got it straight, and I use it for the up and down. So if it's too high that side, you undo whatever's up there and do them up on this end, and that'll put it right. It's just a lot of messing about really, but when you get it sussed, you get it sussed. It's took me about half an hour to true this wheel in, and here's the front already done. And as you can see, tyre on it and everything, and rolls real nice. As you can see, it's all nice and straight, nothing touching, same gaps both sides like there should be, so quite happy with it. So there you go, all finished. Went in there nice, and I think the track looks better with them on it. Not bad at all. The chroming behind the blue looks quite cool. Really happy with them. Not bad at all. If you like what you're seeing, click like. Don't forget, stay safe. Get out and ride.